Masons and the founding of this nation. And the Masons tell us they have one of their 33rd degree Masons, one of the top Masons in the nation, says that there's 8 of the 59 signers of the Declaration. There's 56. They say that that's there's only 8 or 9. Now, I don't know, so I'll take that's the best we can do. They don't know because they can't find the records. But they have put in writing that 23 of the 39 men who signed the Constitution were Masons. 23 would be therefore a majority. So if they wanted whatever they wanted, they had the power to do so, because the Masons were told to create this nation, write the Constitution, and they've done so.
For what purpose would our founding fathers create this secret destiny for America?
Well, we're going someplace. They told us where it is on the back of our dollar bill. It's called the New World Order. It's not new. It is a world order. It's not only the United States going to get this; the entire world's going to get this, where each man will be free to decide for himself what's right and wrong. And I mean, if you want to live in a state of tyranny, think about that. You cannot even go to the grocery store at 10 o'clock in the morning because people will be free to steal your groceries, steal from you, take your money, beat you on the head, kill you, whatever they want to do. This is madness. No, it's not. It's what these people want. It's in their own writings. I found it.
Just to the listeners out there, just to the listeners out there, you can go ahead and call in if you want. I'm accepting phone calls, but another question, sir, is that something that has always puzzled me is that Britain was our enemy during the Revolutionary War, so it seems, and they are our biggest ally today. So since they couldn't beat us physically during the Revolutionary War, do you think that there could still be a war going on today between us, like maybe a psychological war?
No, it's bigger than that. This thing, please understand, this conspiracy already controls the world. How do I know that? Listen, America, Bill Clinton told us that statement is true on the night of July the 16th, 1992. Bill Clinton was at the Democratic Convention accepting the nomination for president of the Democratic Party. As you know, of course, he was elected later in November that year. But this is when he was on nationwide TV explaining to us what got him into politics, and he was admitting verbally with his own mouth. You can read it. You can see the clip if you find it. I can let you know where to find it. He said there is a conspiracy. It already controls the economies of the world. It also, listen to this, America, it controls both political parties equally. Bill Clinton told us this with his own mouth. You can read it, you can hear it, you can watch him say it. Now, not only do they control both parties equally, they financed both sides of World War II. How do I know that? Bill Clinton told us. He told us that he was a supporter of this conspiracy and that it made him president of the United States. Do you understand? Bill Clinton is not a conspiracy theorist. He's a conspiracy realist. He told us this with his own mouth. I found it. I documented it. I've got a booklet out called Clinton's Conspiracy. I got a DVD to show you what he said, how it already controls both parties. Now, let's go back to Obama and McCain. John McCain, according to Bill Clinton, John McCain and Barack Obama were both controlled by the same people. Now, let me tell you how John McCain intentionally lost the election. He did so because the conspiracy wanted Barack Obama in office. So John McCain ran, but he made one fatal mistake at the very beginning. Let's go back very simply. John McCain's been a senator for 20-some years, was in the Congress for years before that. I don't know, quite 30-some years. I don't know what the total is. But he was a very experienced senator and legislator, etc. Barack Obama was elected a year or so before the campaign as a senator. That's the only experience he's ever had. He was a state legislator for a while, I guess a year or two. Now, here's the way that I would have run the campaign if I was John McCain. I would have said, ladies and gentlemen, Americans, this is a mighty ship of state, and we need to have a captain who knows how to steer this incredible boat, because if we don't, we're going to end up on the rocks. Look at my opponent. He's had 1 year experience. He's very naive, he hasn't had the experience that I've had. I wouldn't quite say it that way because this is just a condensed form. But let the people know that you've got experience and Barack Obama doesn't. Now, John McCain is in his 70s. If he was elected, he'd be the oldest president ever elected by the United States. John McCain should have used that as an argument to win the election, because the American people don't want this novice. But John McCain nominated Sarah Palin, who had less experience in government than even Barack Obama. Now, wait a minute. Here the American people are being asked to vote for a man who's in his 70s already. Forgive me, this is not very pleasant, but, people in their 70s and 60s and 40s, people get heart attacks. But it's more likely that John McCain quite possibly might not survive a heart attack, let's say, or a stroke or something. So Sarah Palin could become president of the United States with no experience. Wait a minute. He lost the major issue in his campaign by nominating Sarah Palin. He did that on purpose. He was told to lose the election. He did. We have two more precedents of that in the past. Back in 80-something, I forgot when it was, Walter Mondale ran against Ronald Reagan. And the night of the Democratic National Convention in 1982, Walter Mondale told the American people on live national television, I'm going to raise your taxes. That is not the thing to do, Walter Mondale. Now, why did he do that? There's an unwritten rule in politics. Never, never, never promise a tax increase. Never. You can increase benefits. You can get more programs going. You can do whatever you want to. That rule works all the way down from dog catcher, or the lowest level in the city, all the way up to president. Never promise a tax increase. Walter Mondale just did that on national television. The largest audience he would have ever, he promised a tax increase. That's not very bright. He lost the election. After that night was over, the election was over. Reagan was going to win. George Bush, the senior, did it as well. George Bush in 1990, I think it was, came up with a very catchy little phrase. Read my lips, no new taxes. Oh, that's very nice, very catchy. The comics made fun of it. Everybody made it fun. It was in the newspapers and the television, and people saying it, and, making fun out of it. Read my lips, no new asparagus shoots, or whatever it was. And they were using it to make it popular. And then he raised taxes. Why? Well, I don't understand. He just promised us he wouldn't, and yet he did. That's the way that George Bush the father intentionally lost the election. He did so, just like Walter Mondale. And in my video, Clinton Conspiracy, I talk about this and show you the evidence of it. I'm not making this up. This is I quote their actual words. Now, wait a minute. That's not the way to win an election. You don't want to lose it intentionally. Yes, you do, if Bill Clinton is right, and he is right, that both political parties are controlled by the same people. Now, who are those people? It doesn't matter who they are. All we know is that they're controlled by the same people. We can generalize and say it's the CFR or the Trial Commission or maybe others, bankers, but that's fine. But it doesn't matter. We now know that no matter who we elect, they are satisfied. They select two candidates, have them run against each other, and we pick one and think we, the people, have done this hogwash. They told us, here's your choice, A and B, and it doesn't matter who you elect, we're happy with him. That's where we are. That's how bad it is.
Just to let you know that some of our members or some of our listeners are really fascinated by your research, and just want to thank you for all the hard work that you've done. And another question is, whenever Bush Sr.
Mike, just a second. Let's go back to what you just said. Please understand what I'm saying. If you personally the people that are listening or to me right now, if you don't get involved personally, I mean, you've got to educate yourself and then educate others. If we don't do that, our future is set.